Greetings and wishes from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology and myself Manoj, Assistant Professor, Mechanical. In the previous part, we have discussed about the second law of thermodynamics and its basics, and we discussed the applications of second law of thermodynamics as heat engine, refrigerator, heat pump, etc. And in this session, we are going to solve the problems and the Carnot cycle. So before entering into the problem, we are going to discuss the Carnot cycle and its efficiency. So Carnot cycle was developed by a scientist named as Sadi Carnot. It is an ideal cycle for any heat engine. The Carnot cycle is one of the imaginary cycle. That means the Carnot engine is an engine. It can produce 100% of efficiency. As we know that no engine is capable to produce the 100% of efficiency, because every heat engine should have a loss. But in case of Carnot engine, it produces the maximum efficiency compared to any other engine existing. But practically it is not possible, as we know that every engine running, everything in the world is irreversible. But we are considering the Carnot cycle or Carnot engine for the comparison, since the Carnot engine gives maximum efficiency compared to the other engine. So here we have explained the Carnot cycle. Look at the PV and TS diagram for the Carnot cycle. There are four different processes: isothermal heat addition, reversible adiabatic expansion or isentropic expansion, and the 3 to 4 is isothermal heat rejection, and 4 to 1 is reversible adiabatic compression or isentropic compression process. Here, process 1 to 2, the addition of heat taking place. We are adding heat to the system or the engine. Therefore, at the same time, the temperature remains constant. So therefore, we have represented as isothermal process. So you have to remember this point. When we are adding or rejecting heat from the engine or a system, we should keep the temperature as constant. So therefore, we are keeping the process as isothermal heat addition. And at process 2 to 3, the expansion, the process called expansion. In case of expansion and compression, while expanding, the pressure getting decreased. That means work has done. There is no heat has been transferred. As you know that if there is no heat transfer taking place, that is said to be a adiabatic process. Adiabatic means there is no heat transfer. Q is equal to 0. So therefore, the process 1 to 2, the heat is added to the system or engine isothermally by keeping the temperature as constant. In process 2 to 3, the pressure getting decreased. Because the process called expansion, as the name indicates. While expansion and compression, there is no heat has been transferred. So therefore, the process we can identify it as the reversible adiabatic or isentropic process. So therefore, expansion and compression are taking place adiabatically or isentropically. Yes, process 2 to 3 is named as a reversible adiabatic expansion, where the pressure getting reduced. So at the same time, as I already mentioned you, the pressure and the volume are inversely proportional to each other. So therefore, when the pressure decreases, but the volume getting increased, as shown in the PV diagram, process 2 to 3. The volume is slightly increasing, but the pressure is gradually decreasing. Then process 3 to 4, the heat has been rejected from the system. So after doing some useful work, after doing the expansion process, some amount of heat has been rejected from the system. So as I mentioned previously, the heat addition and rejection, both of them has taken place at a constant temperature. Therefore, it is an isothermal process. Therefore, we are naming it as 3 to 4 as isothermal heat rejection. Then process 4 to 1, the compression taking place. At point 4 to 1, that is the process 4 to 1, the pressure getting increased. At the same time, the volume getting reduced. So therefore, we are naming it as the reversible adiabatic compression or isentropic compression. Look at the TS diagram, the temperature and entropy diagram. When we are adding heat, to the system, the entropy is increased. When the heat is rejected, the entropy is decreased. But remember, by adding or rejecting the heat from the system, the temperature remains constant. So therefore, look at the TS diagram. Process 1 to 2 is a isothermal heat addition. As the name indicates, isothermal, where the temperature is constant. So therefore, it would be a straight line, horizontal line. But when we are adding heat, the entropy value getting increased. So therefore, the S is increasing from 1 to 2. Then 2 to 3 is a expansion process while it happens adiabatically. So adiabatic means there is no transfer of heat. Therefore, the Q is equal to 0. If there is no transfer of heat taking place, the entropy remains constant. Therefore, it is a horizontal or vertical straight line. Since the entropy remains constant for process 2 to 3 because no heat has been added. When we are adding the heat, the entropy increases. When we are rejecting the heat, the entropy decreases. While compression and expansion happens adiabatically, therefore, there is no heat transfer taking place. Therefore, the S value becomes constant. Then process 3 to 4, the heat is rejected from the system, from the engine. Therefore, the heat rejection taking place, the entropy is decreases. At the same time, heat addition and rejection happens in isothermal process. Therefore, temperature is constant. Therefore, horizontal straight line in the negative direction. And process 4 to 1 is again the adiabatic, the reversible adiabatic compression process. So while compression, as you know that the pressure increases, therefore the temperature also increases, and hence at the process 4 to 1, the compression is happening. Therefore, there is no heat transfer taking place since it is adiabatic. Therefore, the entropy remains constant at 4 to 1. Then we're going to find the efficiency of this Carnot cycle, which gives the maximum efficiency. Carnot cycle is a cycle which gives the maximum efficiency compared to any other engine. No engine can give as much as higher efficiency than the Carnot cycle, because Carnot cycle is a reversible cycle and it is an imaginary one. Okay, at process 1 to 1, before solving the derivation, we need to know the efficiency formula. The efficiency is nothing but the output by input. By using an engine, the output is a work done by the engine. The input is the heat supplied to the engine. Therefore, the efficiency it is equal to work done divided by heat supplied, W by Qs, where the work done W is nothing but the amount of heat supplied minus the amount of heat rejected from the system. The actual work done in the system is the difference of, or the difference between the Qs, the heat supplied, to the heat rejected from the system. So therefore, instead of W, we can put Qs minus Qr divided by Qs. So accordingly, we can use both the formula. Process 1 to 2, isothermal process where the temperature is constant. Therefore, the formula for Q, the heat transfer for the isothermal process, the formula is P1 V1 ln V2 by V1. And also process 3 to 4 is taking place in isothermal process. Therefore, for the process 3 to 4 also, the temperature remains constant. Therefore, heat rejection formula QR is equal to P3 V3 ln V3 by V4. Here we, or else instead of PV, we can put MRT. As we know that PV is equal to MRT, characteristic gas equation. From the characteristic gas equation, we can consider the P1, instead of this P1 V1, we can put MRT1. So in the next step, it has shown QS is equal to MRT1 ln V2 by V1 and QR is equal to MRT2 ln V3 by V4. Then process 2 to 3 and 4 to 1. Both are the isentropic process or reversible adiabatic process. Considering the process 2 to 3, it is adiabatic, that is PV power gamma is equal to C. Adiabatic law. Isentropic expansion is happening. Therefore, we are using the PVT relation for the adiabatic process or reversible adiabatic process or isentropic process. Therefore, it has been considered as V3 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2 power 1 by gamma minus 1, because the process is expansion. And for process 4 to 1, the same reversible adiabatic or isentropic process. Here the compression taking place, PV power gamma is equal to C. The same PVT relation, V4 by V1 is equal to T1 by T2 power 1 by gamma minus 1. Because since we have used the T1 here in process 2 to 3 and 4 to 1, look at the TS diagram. T1 is equal to T2 since the heat addition and heat rejection, both the heat transfer in this process taken place at constant temperature. So therefore T1 is equal to T2, T4 is equal to T3 and S1 is equal to S4 and S2 is equal to S3. Okay. And the relation V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. Why? The thing is V2 by V1, that is at the initial point. That means at process 1 to 2, while the heat addition, we are considering the volume ratio V2 by V1, which is equal to V3 by V4. This is nothing but both the heat ratio of volumes of heat addition is equal to the volume ratio of heat rejection. That's why we are putting the V2 by V1 is equal to V3 by V4. So therefore, instead of this efficiency, just instead of the efficiency formula, just we are substituting all the values. Here the efficiency formula is QS minus QR divided by QS. So instead of QS, we can put this P1 V1 ln P2 by V1 minus P1 V1 ln V3, sorry, QR formula is P3 V3 ln V3 by V4 divided by P1 V1 ln V2 by V1. Here we have substituted all the available values, right? Also, you can use the MRT formula. Instead of P1 V1, we can put MRT1 ln V2 by V1 minus MRT2 ln. Here also we have used V2 by V1. Since here it comes as V3 by V4. But in the previous step itself, we have found that these two ratios are same. Therefore, instead of V3 by V4, we put V2 by V1. Therefore, V2 by V1, here also V2 by V1 divided by MRT1 ln V2 by V1. Where look at the ln V2 by V1. MR ln V2 by V1 is common. When we are looking out, the T1 is variant, T1, T2 is different. Therefore, taking T1 and T2 outside. So T1 minus T2 divided by T1. The remaining, we are considering everything as common. MR ln V2 by V1. Right? So both are getting cancelled. MR ln V2 by V1 divided by MR ln V2 by V1. The remaining efficient theta is equal to T1 minus T2 divided by T1. So this is the efficiency of the formula, by efficiency of the Carnot engine. By using this formula, we can find the maximum efficiency of any engine. In the next part, we can look out the problems related to Carnot engine. Thank you.